Hey guys, Ryan Dossey here, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through an entire flip, like for newbies perspective. On this deal, we made $47,000 in 90 days. I'm going to walk you through how we found the deal, what marketing we did, how we analyzed it inside of our CRM, a walkthrough of the place, what it sold for, and all of our actual expenses, like really what went where. Let's dive right in. Before we dive in, all I'm going to ask is if you find the video helpful, please hit the like button. That helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And I personally respond to all of the comments on these videos. So if there's something I go over that doesn't make sense to you, just drop a comment down below and I promise I'll get back to you. So I'm going to start this video out by walking you through how we found this particular deal. So this particular one came off of a ballpoint marketing campaign. We used like the comic card sequence. My favorite out of these tends to be like the no realtor commission one with like the dude's eyes popping out of his head. And we sent it to a list of what I call like Vinyl Village properties. I'll explain what that means in a second, but it's basically just I mailed to what I wanted. People tend to assume that when you're marketing for properties, whether you're looking to flip, wholesale, or hold as rentals, that you're looking for like motivated or desperate people. And that's simply not the case. This particular deal came from somebody that like wasn't in a position where they were in foreclosure or inherited the house or anything crazy like that. So let me walk you through in PropStream, step by step, how to pull this particular list we pulled. So this is PropStream's interface. I believe they're right at 99 bucks a month. We do have a free trial affiliate link that I'll drop down below. But it's one of those tools that I use and pay for every single month. I'm going to kill this spider on this desk. Perks of shooting in a warehouse. All right. So on that note, I'm going to walk you guys through how to pull this. So this first section here, you're just going to want to throw in like the general area that you're looking at. You can do up to like 5 zip codes or counties. In this instance, I'm just doing the main city we're in, which is Indianapolis. So you're going to punch that in. Then you're going to use this filter tab. So vinyl villages are these houses that like all kind of look the same, 2 or 3 floor plans. We call them vinyl villages because they're sided in vinyl and they all kind of look the same, right? It's a little like Stepfordy almost. So we're going to hop in here into property characteristics. We're looking for single family houses. I typically do a minimum of 3 beds. I do a minimum of 1.5 baths. And then building square footage, I'm looking for a minimum of 1,000 square feet. And I typically do places built 1989 or later. And I've had people in comments and videos before be like, how'd you come up with that year? I don't know. It's just what I've always done. So feel free to go back further. If you know of like older houses in your market that look like this, that's, totally your call to make. So we've got single family, we got 3 bedrooms or more, 1.5 baths or more, 1,000 square feet or more, 1989 or newer. Actually, year built. Yeah, 1989 or later. So that makes sense. 1989 or 99, 2000, etc. So the only other like filter that I might recommend throwing in here is going to be a valuation and equity cap. Some of these places that match this criteria might be $1 million homes in your market. So what we typically look at is the assessed value. In our market, properties tend to assess for like $50,000 to $100,000 less than what they're worth. So I might put something in here like a maximum assessed value of $350,000. My sweet spot really is like, under 300, but I would do something nicer if it was a super good deal. So I'll go ahead and leave that in. And then the only other real filter that I need to add in here is equity. We want to make sure that they can afford to sell to us at a discount. So on this, we would do 35 to 100%. We're going to throw that right here. And we can see right here, there's 32,000 of them. So that's quite a bit. So likely, like Indianapolis has a population of 1 million people. You're probably not marketing in that large of an area. If you are, you might want to narrow it down to more like zip codes that you like or something. All you would do to save these, you check all, click add to list, call it what you want to call it. So, like Vinyl Village demo and click save. You would then go over here to the properties tag, pick whatever list that was, check this box to select all, export out, and then you would send it over to Ballpoint. On this particular campaign, like I mentioned, we use the comic cards. So if you go to products at ballpointmarketing.com and postcard sequences, it's going to be the comic ones. Now, one thing to note, you can subscribe and save, and we actually do 20% off on these, or you can just do like one-offs. Obviously, I recommend marketing consistently, but at the end of the day, it's your decision. If you're not wanting to do like the subscribe and save model, you'd click here for the single orders, do comic cards. And these are the ones that I'm particularly fond of. I know it's kind of goofy, but like you're not getting anything like this in the mail from anyone else. So assuming you'd exported your list out from PropStream and you're now ready to market to get some deals, you'd go over to the comic card sequence. You'd pick which style you want. Cursive or non-cursive, we threw out just as an option. I'll be blunt. Every single piece I do is cursive. Campaign, I would do the no commissions. Make sure your message matches. One thing I do recommend, like this has been proven. The letter I sent was this exact copy. You can try to make something up yourself, but why would you try something that's not proven when we're giving you stuff that's already worked? So I would leave that the same. And you would come down here and just change the quantity to whatever your list size is. Personally, I don't really recommend campaigns under 2,500 pieces. In my experience in most like Midwestern markets, it's about the average that's required to get a deal. If you're in like a more competitive market or coastal, it might be closer to 5,000. So that's my recommendation. You'd click add to cart. That opens up here. You're then going to go through, fill out your billing info, and click place order. Now, one thing to note, once your order has been placed, our customer service reps are going to reach out. First off, thank you for placing the order, but then they're also going to get all of the information from you that they need. So your mailing list, make sure that's formatted properly. They'll get you a proof like, hey, does everything look good on this prior to printing started? So that's how you would place the order once you've got your list pulled. So that's what this actual deal came off of. Here's the real lead inside my CRM. I use Resimpli for my real estate business and have for years. You can see it came from direct mail, from the ballpoint comic cards. These are our internal notes on this place. So the homeowners bought the place for $139,000 back in 2014. We ended up getting it under contract for $178,500. They thought that they would maybe get 300 to 400, which there was no way. Max we thought on this was like 270. So we use the 75% rule. So 270, if that's what it's worth, 75% of that is 202 minus the rehab we're going to do, which we thought would be 17K. I'll show you. It actually ended up costing us a little bit more, meaning the max we'd want to pay for this was 170 to 180. If we were wholesaling it, if we were going to flip it ourselves, we could have gone up to 186 grand. Now, one thing to note here, I know that I could have gone up to that 186, but I didn't. We started out below that. So on this deal, we actually got it under contract for $178,500. So that's, roughly $8,000 better of a deal than I would have been okay with. So that's how that turned out. This is the actual listing. This place just sold on November 4th. So on this particular deal, we were into it for under 3 months. It's pretty freaking solid to make $47,000 on a single deal in under 3 months. Can't complain about that at all. Very happy with this one. Now, one thing that I do want to note, we actually listed this house for $270,000. Didn't get much interest. Whether that's the market changing, interest rates, just not a lot of interest in this particular neighborhood or something. Not sure. We had one party that made us an offer and we were listed at 270,000. They offered us 220 grand in cash. We're like, no way. We've only been on the market for like a week. We're not going to take a $50,000 discount. So we went back and forth with them, countered. We ended up saying, hey, we'll come down by 10 grand. They said, great, that works for us. So yeah, technically, we did end up selling for $10,000 less than we thought we might have been able to. However, even if you read our notes in here, 260 to 270 is about what we were expecting. We thought, hey, we'll shoot for 270. Kind of the takeaway here, just where we're at in the economy. Like if you're flipping houses now, I wouldn't be trying to set records. I'd be trying to move some weight. So that's all this was. We weren't trying to be the most expensive house that had sold or get what places were going pre-COVID. We just wanted to get the sucker moved, right? So on this instance, oh no, we took $10,000 less. However, we still made $47,000. I can't be upset about that at all. Now, one thing to note, if you're doing a lot of mail like this, like 5, 10, 20,000 pieces, that can be a lot of work to field all those calls, enter them into the CRM. So personally, Call Porter takes all of our calls on anything other than like large commercial properties. So they take all of our calls on stuff like this. These are actual notes from the Call Porter rep. So beds, baths, age of systems, what they're wanting to get out of it, what they hope they would sell it for, if they've had any offers at that, why they're wanting to sell. Realistically, like I mentioned earlier, often there's not like a crazy reason that they want to sell. These people literally just wanted to downsize and wanted more land. That was it. And then they went and actually booked an appointment for our acquisitions guy on that call. So pretty solid if you ask me. So on this particular place, we bought it for $178,500. However, we ended up spending $22,800 with contractors, $325 for the inspection. We do a full-blown inspection on every single deal we purchase. We spent $83 on the electric bill. Pretty good if you ask me. We spent $297 on water and sewer, roughly $2,000 painting the place. Property insurance cost us $168. Obviously, that's prorated. We canceled it when we sold the place. We spent $1,202 on holding costs. That's like what we paid private lenders, that kind of stuff. We had $200 in like mowing, landscaping, $590 in HVAC service. We had some garage door service stuff as well that cost us $295. So we ended up putting $25,509 into this particular house. So all in all, like costs out on the deal, we had $205,682.53, and we sold the place for $260,000 in cash. Not mad about that at all. We actually share reports like this with our lenders just to show them like, hey, when you invest with us, like we have substantial margin in our deals. This last one you funded, like there was over $47,000 that the market could have dipped by before we'd have to kick in cash to make you whole. So that kind of just makes them feel comfortable about doing business with us. We're now going to cut to my business partner, Noah Gilliam, who's actually like the guy on the ground that makes all of this happen. If you didn't know, I'm actually in a warehouse in Florida. Any of these deals you see me post or share or talk about, like I'm not local. I'm managing from afar, which should be inspiring for you if you don't want to have to do everything by yourself in your business forever. Like it is possible to flip houses remotely, build a solid team. I will say I could not do this without Noah. Him and his wife have been an absolute godsend for my wife and I. So without further ado, let's cut to Noah with kind of the recap on what actually happened with this place on the ground.
What's up, guys? I'm Noah. We are outside one of our latest flips. We just finished this thing up. We just got it on the market. Let's go take a look at what we did. All right, so I want to give you guys a little bit of backstory on this house. So we met with the seller and they were looking to downsize houses. They had also relocated jobs, so they needed to move and they needed to move fast. However, this one took a little bit of seller education because originally they were wanting $400,000 for the house. And while it's not a bad house, it's actually a pretty great house, it's just not worth $400,000. So at the end of the day, we walked them through the comps that we used and how we got to the price where we needed to be at to buy them out with a cash offer. We did that by showing them the houses comparable to their houses in the neighborhood. We walked them through the rehab and what we would have to do to the house. And that's the way we backed them all the way down to the cash offer where we were at. So to break down the numbers for you, we actually purchased this house at $170,000. We put about $25,000 worth of work into it, and we currently have it listed on the market right now for $270,000. In the grand scheme of things, this was a pretty easy cosmetic rehab for us. We were able to get away with things like paint, carpet, just general cosmetic updates. If we take a look at this room in particular, we redid the floors, we tore out carpet, put down nice LVP so we have a nice dining area and a living room area. We painted the walls, redid the trim, and just general spot cleaning of the space to make it look nice. Now that we've talked about the backstory of the house, let's talk about how we financed this thing. So we raised private money at about 6% interest only. So from our lender, we were able to get the purchase price and the full rehab amount in the tune of $200,000, all at 6% interest only. So we were able to use that money to fund it and get it rehabbed and now put it on the market. When we got this house, the kitchen looked quite a bit different than what it does now. The cabinets were a wood-based color, the flooring was way different, had different appliances in it, all kinds of stuff. So we came in, revamped everything. One thing that saved us a lot of money was we actually were able to save the cabinets. However, we primed them and painted them white. We put black poles on them, black hinges, just to make everything pop. Another thing that we did just to add value to the home is add stainless steel appliances. They're super easy to clean, they look good, and they just add value in general. Fortunately for us on this house, we actually hit our budget and we actually hit our timeline. So from a flipper's perspective, that's about as good as it gets. Normally we don't do a ton of work to garages. However, in this particular garage, there is this weird shelving that took up this entire corner. There were things on the ceiling, all kinds of stuff hanging down, and you couldn't even park a car in here. So we came in, tore it all out, and now we have a nice basic garage that you can fit 2 cars in. So this particular neighborhood is a very middle of the road neighborhood, nothing low end, nothing super fancy. So we were able to do mid-grade finishes such as this nice carpet. We just did our standard gray wall color, our standard white trim, black hardware, just like we did in the kitchen. Overall, it's a very finished, nice looking house in a solid neighborhood. This is a 4-bedroom house. However, when we bought it, it was actually 3 bedrooms and this was a loft. This wall was gone, there was no door here, and this was just an open area for kids to play. They had a TV up there, stuff like that. However, it's more advantageous for us to add a 4th bedroom. Typically here in the Midwest, if we add a bedroom, that adds about $10,000 in value. And because this was an easy conversion for us, it was a no-brainer for us to do because we would recoup all of the money that we put into it back when we sell the house. We are in the converted bedroom, so you can see we've got a door, we've got a closet, we've got windows, everything you need this to be a conforming bedroom. Quick pro tip, people do not like weird closets, so we're actually in the master closet. This whole thing was cedar wood that looked like particle board OSB. It looked very raw and construction-y. So we actually tore all of that stuff down, skim coated the walls, put up these racks, and made it an actual nice usable closet. All right guys, that concludes the tour of this house. We really love showing you guys this stuff, so follow along for more.
Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. My goal with these is just to be the resource I was looking for when I first started out. Nobody gave away this kind of content of like how to pull the lists, how to decide what to target, showing like actual P&Ls, right? We typically get the HGTV. We bought it for this, we put this into it, we sold it for this, the rest is profit. And as you can see, like, no, there's more costs that go into this than this. So if you found this helpful, all I'm gonna ask is that you share this video with somebody else that you think it might help. That truly is like the highest and best compliment you can give me. I appreciate you taking your valuable time to hang out with me. Hopefully this taught you something or inspired you. Again, my name is Ryan Dossey. We'll talk to y'all next time.